Hey guys, in this methods lesson, we're going to look at TOEFL Reading Skill number 2, which is the question type Guess Vocabulary from Context. So first of all, what does it look like on test day? It will look something like this. On the left-hand side, you will see the question. On the right-hand side, you will see a paragraph or the text. Right, so what do you have to do? Well, you need to guess the meaning of the highlighted or emboldened word from the context by choosing one of the answer options provided. Okay, we need a method to be able to do this effectively. The method is this. I'm just going to go through the method briefly with you. It's read, find, replace, and then choose. Okay, these are the key words here. I'm going to go into the method in detail right now. So let's apply this method. Step 1, read the highlighted word in the question and look at the answer option. So we want to focus here first, of course. And the highlighted word or the emboldened word is exacerbate. Then we want to look at the answer options because we want to find out exacerbate is closest in meaning to decrease, weaken, provide, or worsen. Well, we can't really tell just from looking at this. Exacerbate, well, okay, maybe if you know this word, perhaps you can actually just select it immediately from these 4 options. But sometimes it won't be that easy. Sometimes the emboldened word and the 4 answer options, the emboldened word can be replaced by possibly 2 of them or even 3 of them, and it's going to depend on the context of the paragraph as to which one is actually right. Okay, so then let's go to step 2. Step 2 is find the highlighted word in the passage and focus on that sentence. So we look here and we can see the highlighted word exacerbate. We want to focus on the sentence, the context that it's in, which is the proposed tax rise will only exacerbate financial problems for low-income earners. The proposed tax rise will only exacerbate financial problems for low-income learners. Step 3, we now replace the highlighted word with each option and eliminate incorrect ones. So what we do is we say the proposed tax rise will only decrease. Well, decrease financial problems for low-income earners, that doesn't make sense. The proposed tax rise will only weaken financial problems for low-income earners. So what we're effectively doing here is we are inserting the 4 different options to find the correct one, because we can see, we can understand the meaning by replacing and swapping each one. And you can start to say to yourself, well, that doesn't make sense. So eliminate it, and we replace it with the next one. That doesn't make sense. So we eliminate it, replace it with the next one, and so on and so forth until, let me just skip through these, you get the idea. Step 4, we have to choose the correct word, which is worsen. So look at this, let's see why. So if you do not know what this word exacerbate means, and they will often be complex words, the proposed tax rise will only worsen financial problems for low-income earners, will only exacerbate and worsen. These are the 2 that mean similar things, in which case you can replace it here. Cool. So it helps to understand the tone of the sentence. So the tone of this sentence is negative. It contains the word problem, financial problems. Therefore, we want to choose a word from the list that is also negative in tone. Now, worsen and weaken and decrease, but worsens the one. There's another thing going on here too, which is called a collocation. A collocation. So let's just strip this sentence back here. Let's just look at this here. The proposed tax rise will only exacerbate financial problems. Well, there's actually a collocation here, which is you exacerbate problems. So sometimes, let's replace it. So you can decrease problems, weaken problems, provide problems, or worsen problems. Well, we can see that, yes, the collocation is exacerbate here. And the one you can replace it with is worsen. So that may help you as well. Cool, now it's your turn. So let's do this one. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do this one here. And stop. Cool, how did you go? Let's go through the method and see if we can get this answer. Now you may have just looked at this and said, okay, I know which word it relates to most, but there's possibly two. For me, I say, oh, this one or possibly this one. Sadness and hell don't have the same meaning, but either way, let's run through the method so we can get this right. So we want to read the highlighted word, which is nirvana. We want to read these four answer options, which are sadness, eternity, hell, and paradise. We want to then go across and find the word in the text here. Then what we want to do is we want to replace them. So let's say this. So the smell of cinnamon has a unique property. Its smell transports me magically to my mother's kitchen when I was a kid. I imagine myself biting into one of her homemade pumpkin and cinnamon pies, and I am transported briefly to sadness, briefly to eternity, briefly to hell, briefly to paradise. Okay, fine. So then we've swapped each one, and we've also thought about the tone of this paragraph as well. And of course, the answer is paradise. That's the best possible choice here. Let's think about the tone. This time it's positive. It's talking about happy memories. So sadness and hell are not options. We could have replaced it with eternity, but it's just not quite the right word. What this really is about is word choice. At every moment when we're speaking, we have the option to choose a variety of different words. And usually there's synonyms, there's synonymous, but usually there'll be one word that will be most precise. Okay, so let's say if you looked in the thesaurus or the dictionary, there's heaven and eternity and nirvana might be synonyms, but only one of these in the context of the paragraph will be correct. So you need to get good at choosing words precisely, being precise. It's a great skill. It's a great skill. Let's do another one. I want you to do this one here. I want you to run through the method. Your time starts now. I'll give you a bit longer because this paragraph is a bit longer. All right, so yes, you have to read, the paragraph gives you the tone. The paragraph will provide you with the tone, but it's only really that sentence that provides the context. I suppose the paragraph is providing context as well, but it's that sentence where the word is located that gives you the really important context. So let's run through the method. So first thing we want to do is read the highlighted word, which is mislead. Mislead. Okay, fine. It's a verb. And we want to look at the answer options here. So we've got mislead, protect, disagree, engage, and fool. Okay, fine. Then we want to find the highlighted word in the passage here, and we want to read this sentence. So it says, science can often mislead the uninformed. Okay, we don't even really need to read the rest of the sentence. Just science can often mislead the uninformed. So let's now swap these words here and see which one fits best, which one has the most precise meaning and similar meaning to this one here. So science can often protect the uninformed. Yeah, science can often disagree well, this one's definitely wrong because of grammatical reasons. Science can often engage the uninformed. No, I'm not happy with that one either. Science can often fool the uninformed, as untested theories are accepted as fact. I think we've got our answer, which is indeed fool. Fine. Science will often mislead the uninformed, as untested theories are accepted as fact. You can pause the video and read about the prefixes here, which will be helpful for you. Let's do one more question. Here we go. Run through the method. You have 30 seconds starting now. That was actually 45 seconds because it was a... Yeah, you definitely need to. You don't need to deep read the paragraph, but you do need to read the paragraph even if you just skim over it to understand what it's about. We can see that this one was about languages and dialects. So let's run through the method here. So number 1, we read the highlighted word intelligible. Intelligible. And we can see there's something in here about intelligence perhaps. You can break this word down. Then we've got ambiguous, understandable, obvious, and recognizable. Then we find the word here in the paragraph, and we want to read this sentence. It says, dialects are varieties of a particular language and are closely related. Despite their differences, they are often mutually intelligible. Now, why did I go back 2 sentences? Because here it says despite their differences, and it's talking about dialects. So I needed to go back in the sentence there to read before it, or else this sentence would not make sense on its own. So sometimes you may need to do that. Whoopsie, sorry. So dialects are varieties of a particular language and are closely related. Despite the differences of dialects, they are often mutually intelligible. They are often mutually ambiguous, mutually understandable, mutually obvious, mutually recognizable. Now we have to choose the one that's closest in meaning. What do you guess? Feel free to type it into the comments below. The answer is understandable. So these could be interchanged. So ambiguous is not right because it contradicts the meaning of the sentence. Obvious does not logically match the meaning of the sentence. Recognizable is incorrect because we are talking about dialects, forms of languages that are understood by other speakers. Therefore, understandable can replace intelligible in this context because of the reference to dialects and languages. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Be sure to do the practice questions that follow this so you can nail it on test day.